it kind of mirrored my experience exactly as to what happened when I got to Toronto and experienced these sets for the first time. And so that alignment really worked out for me, and I was able to pull a lot from my own experience and pour it into Elizabeth to ground it.
Hi, Chris Bumbray with JoeBlow.com. Hi, it's great to talk to you. I wanted to say one of the things about the movie that really surprised me was I wasn't prepared for how heartbreaking it was and how sad it would be at times. And I think a lot of that was probably due to your chemistry with Jacob Elordi and your character in particular, as Elizabeth, which seems very different from other takes that I've seen on Frankenstein. And I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about, bringing the level of empathy that you do to the role in the film.
I guess that's what I try to do with all my roles and how I approach all of my movies.
Hmm.
I try to, get to um a place where the words on the page really mean something to me on a personal level, so that by the time I get to set, I'm not just saying the words on the page, but they really resonate with me in some personal way. And I guess perhaps that's why you speak of this empathy and uh I know that's a tricky question, but it's just, I guess it's just my approach to the work, I guess.
Well, another thing too is that Guillermo has always talked about how this was a dream project for him, that it was the movie that he felt like he'd been building up to making his whole career. What do you think it is about the story and all the different versions that we've had that has made it resonate with people? Because I feel like Frankenstein is really truly one of the few truly timeless tales that's out there.
Frankenstein has been speaking to outsiders for centuries, and will continue to speak to outsiders for centuries to come. One of the reasons why it resonates with people still to this day is because it operates on many levels. I mean, yes, it is a science fiction novel, but it would be really limiting to just cap it off at that. I mean, it's also a philosophical meditation. It can also be read as a horror story. It's a warning to science and its limits. And yeah, I mean, it's extraordinary what Mary Shelley was able to do at just 19 years of age.
That's crazy too. 19.
Yeah,
I always forget that she was only 19 when she wrote it. That's wild.
yeah.
What was the shooting of it like? Like the sets and stuff like that. Just on a technical level, it's one of the most impressive movies I've seen in a long time. And I feel like we don't necessarily get movies like that anymore that are that lavish and that beautifully done. What was it like setting foot onto the set and especially having a guy like Guillermo as your director?
Surreal and
Mhm.
and and really helpful, actually, because it's kind of exactly what um Elizabeth goes through.
Mhm.
She's taken from a convent. Well, she's not taken. She leaves the convent, and then she enters this world of, that's incredibly grand and opulent, and it kind of mirrored my experience exactly as to what happened when I got to Toronto and experienced these sets for the first time. And so that alignment really worked out for me, and I was able to pull a lot from my own experience and pour it into Elizabeth to ground it.
When you look at at the various roles that you've done, and you've done a lot of genre work, but I think that seeing you as Elizabeth in some ways subverts expectations a little bit compared to, I mean, I think Pearl in a lot of ways is a very, very iconic performance. What do you hope though audiences take away when they see it? The message, especially that I feel like Elizabeth is trying to convey in the movie, well, which is kindness, I think.
Yeah, kindness, and really the most important thing is love. And but in the absence of love, you're really living in hell. And everyone is entitled to love. It doesn't matter, what you look like. And that's just such a, there's no aesthetic criteria to Elizabeth. She would treat a butterfly and a cockroach just the same. And I think we can all take a little bit of that approach from Elizabeth.
Well, thank you. That was beautifully said, and I thank you very much for your time. And I really appreciated the movie, and I thought you were great in it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. Joe Blow was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.